What are we doing in this video? I'm going to sit and talk and talk and talk and talk some more. And if that's not what you like, just go on to the next video. Hey YouTube, I'm back, sorta. Oh, it's been a solid 2 weeks I think since I have been out here to record. We've done a lot has happened. First I want, whoops, let's bounce this around, come on a little bit closer, there we go. All right, we're gonna kind of roll into this slowly and get back to going. It is officially starting to feel a little more like summer. So it's hot out. It's I think it's supposed to be a high of 88 today. It was a high of 90 yesterday, but yeah, it's going to start getting miserable out here. So I wanted to talk about wanted to briefly just share with everyone my experience. I put this video a day on hiatus so that I could study for my contractor's exam for the California contractor's license. I was, for those that, I don't think I've announced it. I don't think I've ever mentioned it on the channel anyway. I was studying for specialty license C10, which is a contractor's license for electrician. We will likely roll right back into it and do a C60, which is a welder's license. The interesting thing about, I don't know how they do it in other states. I really don't have any idea. I understand some states don't have any licensing structure at all. California has the California State License Board, the CSLB. You can get a contractor General A, General B, and then you have all the specialty, and that's, I think there's 42 of them, something like that, but it's like they start off with a C and they go C this, C that, C all the way through to C60, and then you have the ones that are above that that are like really my understanding is they're very specialist, but they don't have like a trade. They just do the law. I'm not sure, but the test is two parts. So it's you have a law contractor, you have contractor law, and then you have the trade. Or if you're doing a general, you do the general, which is another. It's just another trade, but. I did go through a class sort of test. Their goal is to prepare you to pass the test. Their goal is not to teach you about contracting. They're not there to teach you about your trade. They literally just teach you how to pass the test. The manner in which they do this is they give you a huge amount of information. I mean a lot of information. And then they give you lots of practice exams, and the better you get at the practice exam, the better your chances of passing the actual test. My experience, and yours may vary if for those of you that go into this, we started this probably about a year ago. Not quite, but pretty close to it. The pandemic shut the state down, so they weren't giving exams for a long time. They just opened back up a month or two ago, I guess a little over a month ago. I'm not real sure when. I think March. Yeah, it might have been the beginning of March when they started opening up again and started doing testing and stuff like that. Mine was poetically scheduled for April Fool's Day. It was in Fresno, and I thought it would be a brilliant idea to stay in Fresno for the night because I didn't want it. It's not a super long drive. It's a 2 to 3 hour drive depending on traffic and stuff like that. It's I don't like being worn out from driving. So what I did was we got a hotel room, and I'm not going to say where the hotel room was. I don't want to cause any liability issues, but let's just say that was probably the worst hotel experience I've ever had. It really was. We left here, I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. So it was last Thursday when it was with the test. So Wednesday, we loaded up, got in the Fugly Truckling, which is the 06 2500 HD. Topped off the fuel. Topped off the air conditioning because it was getting warm, and I figured, you know what, it'd be nice to be comfortable riding up there. So we drove, and air conditioner ran great. It was actually getting a little too cold. I turned the air conditioner off, and several miles up the road, when I turned the air conditioner back on, it wasn't blowing cold, but it was smelling bad, like refrigerant oil. So I don't know, but I suspect my evaporator core has sprung a leak. So anyway, the rest of the trip we had no air conditioning. It wasn't super hot, it wasn't super bad like that, but it makes it where I don't like riding on the freeway with the windows down, 70 miles an hour. It just, the wind buffeting drives me nuts. It's kind of like trying to like working next to the propane forge. It's annoying. Anyway, we went on up, got our hotel room. The hotel room, we walked in, their air conditioner, usually when you go into a hotel room, there's nothing on. There's no lights, the unit heater or whatever, because they've cleaned it and they've prepped it and it's ready to go. Our hotel room, apparently the young lady at the desk called housekeeping to find out if there was a room ready. We went in, we went to that room, and it was not ready. The air conditioner was on. They did leave a light on. And anyway, it's like the linens had all been changed, the mopping, sweeping, all that kind of stuff had been done. A lot of the surfaces had all been wiped in the living area, but they hadn't quite finished the bathroom or the little dressing area, so it was like the sink needed wiped out and all that kind of stuff. So they sent one of the little housekeepers out, and she cleaned the place up, and after that the room was clean, but there were people. I kind of got the impression that there's a lot of people that live in their cars around that hotel, and all night long, there was noise, there was thumping, banging, pounding, loud conversations. At one point, my wife said that there was somebody outside our window having a heated discussion on their phone. Fortunately, by that time, I had fallen asleep, which I think I probably got to sleep about 1 a.m. About 5:45, I woke up. We got ready. We headed over to the exam location. We were there. We were at the exam location a little early, so we sat and just waited. And by this time, I was burned out with studying. I mean, I didn't even want to open the book. I didn't want to crack anything. I just was done. I was burned out. It was one of those deals where I was going to pass or fail with whatever I had at that moment. So anyway, one of the proctors shows up, another person shows up. We went in. They didn't even wait. They just set me up right away. Says, here you go, let's go. And I started the law. The law exam, they give you 3.5 hours. It's a long time to take one test. It's only got 115 questions. The law, there was plenty of the stuff that I had prepared for. There was a lot of stuff that I'd never seen, a lot of questions I'd never seen, but I had a pretty good idea of where to go with them. So it didn't even take an hour to get through it. That was the way it's done. It's all done on a computer. So what you do is it's a touch screen. So you've got in front of you, you've got a question and then 4 answers, and you read it, you can answer it. If you don't answer it and you skip to the next question, it'll flag it. If you answer it, you can flag that one yourself. You can you can mark that question that you want to review it again. You can go through the whole thing. At any time you can bring up this page, and it's just a whole bunch of little page numbers, and the ones you've missed, the ones you've skipped, or the ones you've flagged will be highlighted in some color, and you can go back and review that question. And the way I did it was with the law. I went through, and there was a couple of them I wasn't really sure. I flagged them, went all the way through, and it was one of those where I was if I didn't know it, I just didn't know it, and I just gave it the answer that whatever, and then I went back and I kind of thought about a couple of the others a little bit longer. I answered them, and then at the end of it, when you've answered everything, there's a button at the back that says score your test. And so you go like this, and you poke the button, and one of the guys proctoring the test, he whispers in my ear, "Congratulations," thumbs up, and all that kind of stuff. So I passed the law. I took a little, probably a little 10-minute break, and they immediately let me take my trade. The trade exam, I'm not even sure why I studied. There was so much on the trade that I had never studied for. It wasn't totally foreign to me. It was just stuff that I didn't study this. And what's interesting about the way these questions and the way a test works is sometimes whoever's written the test has a different spin on the way what's important. And so I went through the 115 questions. You still get 3.5 hours for that section too. So in total, you got 7 hours to finish both tests. That test, I went through it. Took a long time. I took my time. It wasn't that it was particularly hard. Well, there were some things that I had to really get deep. I had to dig deep to get some of those. But you go through. I went through it once, flagged a bunch. I went back, checked the ones I flagged, and then I went through the whole test one more time, and poked the button, and thumbs up, passed. The sad thing about it is I don't know how well I passed. There's 115 questions. You need a certain percentage to pass. I don't know what percentage I got. Have no idea, couldn't tell you. The way that it's set up is I guess the only way they tell you how you did is if you fail. And that's so that you can focus on studying. So when you retake it, you know what to focus on. With me, it was just, you've passed, here you go. So I don't know if I passed really well or if I just skin of my teeth. I couldn't tell you. I can tell you I have enjoyed the last couple of nights without having to study. I can tell you I'm jazzed that I no longer have to study for the law. And I will be likely adding the C60 certification for welding. And yeah, that's where we're at. And so that's what we're going to, I want to thank those of you that wished me luck. I want to thank some of you contacted me, and I've been contacted in many different ways. Some of you have emailed me. Some of you have contacted me, sent me private messages through Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Great. I really, truly appreciate your well wishes. And we are going to be getting back to the video a day. I know this video is going to be long, a lot of talk, and I know a lot of you don't like me, you don't want to listen to me talk. Hopefully it might help any of you that are getting ready to take the contractor's exam for California. It might help you get some insight as to what the way the system actually, the way the testing works. I would suggest finding if you're going to spend the night if it's in a neighboring city and you want to stay in a hotel, find a nice quiet hotel. Otherwise, just drive the next morning. I don't know. Do something. But anyway, that's where we're at. I wanted to bring you this. I wanted to update you, to let you know we're back at it. And I think what I'm going to do is you'll get this video right away. I'm not even going to hesitate. I'm going to roll over into the next video. We're going to record it, and that'll put us a day ahead. And it's going to have to do with our lathe. So anyway, until next time, bye. For those of you who have watched to the end, what we're going to be doing on our next video is, this is a flat leather belt for my little lathe right here, my little metal lathe. I was playing with it. You guys haven't seen this yet. You might have seen it if you've checked one of my other social media deals, but this was a manufactured belt. It was already, it was tapered and glued. You can actually see the section here. But it's pretty old and it broke. I trimmed it. I put this little lacing on it, and then I ran it for a while and it broke again. We got more belting. So yeah, that'll be tomorrow's video.